All right, Vito, it looks like we're live.
Oh, all right. Hey guys, this is Cast Strength. It's the Cast Strength podcast. I'm Vito Gagliardi.
And I'm Brad.
He's Brad.
Josh is around here somewhere. I'm not sure where exactly. He's like busy with Psalm class, but he was going to call in, I think. We'll see if he turns up. We'll see if he turns up later.
If I can call in from
all the way from Japan,
exotic land of Japan.
Yeah, clearly. I mean, you couldn't sit like in front of a window or something. We can't even tell you're in Japan, man. I mean, I trust you.
I know. I mean,
but
well, it's such a small hotel I'm in. You know, Japan has very small hotels, and so
sure,
I'm in one of those little ones. Can't show you any actual Japanese stuff. You're just gonna have to take my word for it.
I trust you. I trust you. That's fine. I'm glad you're having a good trip, at least.
Oh yeah, we got some Japanese whiskeys.
Nice, perfect.
You definitely can't find in the United States at a local bottle shop.
No, you never find those. They're discontinued everywhere. You can't find them.
Oh hey, look, it's our friend Josh Galladay.
What is Josh doing in Japan? I thought he was at Whiskey Psalm School. I don't know what is going on here now. As you can tell, this stream is totally organized. And Josh,
hey, I'm totally Josh Galladay.
Josh would be big in Japan, actually. Bigger than Vito for sure. Vito fit right in.
Josh, you know, obviously when I came over to Japan, I had to get the latest anime hairstyle.
See, I thought you were in Psalm School. What the hell?
You know, it's Austin. No, you made a mistake. It's actually Austin, Kyoto. It's the neighborhood of Austin in Kyoto.
Sure. No, that's easy mistake, I guess. That's my bad.
Okay, this gag has already gone off the rails.
Yeah, clearly the plan for tonight is there is no plan. So it's going to be an interesting time. But yeah, I'm here with Ed from the Rotgut Review. I guess the old man couldn't make it, but
yeah, well, you know, he's old and he wants to get his beauty rest.
That's fair.
You know, so I can't really blame him for that, I guess.
It's fair enough. Mm-hmm. So what have you been up to?
Me?
Yeah. You Rotgut Review, you know,
the whole Review, thing. Yeah. Well, we got a couple new things. Because we're actually doing streaming now.
Yes, I saw the stream yesterday. There was no tech issues, and I'm horribly jealous.
You can't be jealous of us, man, because we're terrible. No one should ever be jealous of anything we do.
You've seen our past streams. You've been here before.
I know. I'm crossing my fingers and knocking on wood that nothing goes too horrible tonight.
Yeah, no, I mean the stream yesterday was great, so it was a good start.
Right.
You had almost a dozen people in the chat a couple of times. Like it's a pretty good first stream. Like
yeah, it's not too bad. Not too bad. Vito says we're dicks.
That's not news.
Good to hear from
Listen,
you,
clearly he's at a computer with internet and decided he would rather not be on the stream. So we're just gonna be dicks, I guess.
Yeah, they've got great internet over there. Come on, Vito.
Yeah. Just for Vito being in Japan, I'm drinking some Nika from the barrel currently, which is very, very tasty.
Oh, I actually have some too. Although I decided to start with the Nika coffee malt.
Ah, nice. That's a tasty one. Yeah. I don't have any of that, but it's tasty.
The thing I will say, might be a little too sweet for me. A little. It's good, but it's very, very sweet on the finish, which isn't bad, but yeah.
Yeah, a lot of Japanese tend to be a little bit on the sweet side for me. It's like,
yeah,
I mean, it's very Scotchy. I mean, there's a lot of overlap with the flavor profiles with Scotch, right? And a lot of Japanese, but just tends to be a little bit sweeter for me usually.
Oh yeah, no, that's true. That's true. I do think who was it? My Whiskey Den, Patty Baloney.
Sure, yeah.
who you guys should also go check out if you get a chance.
Absolutely. Friend of the show. He's a good dude.
He's good people. But he was talking about how he thinks of Japanese whiskey as like ninja whiskeys, where they're kind of they're like Scotch, but a little more subtle, a little more under the radar.
Sure.
They got that subtle complexity.
Yeah.
It's not quite like the big crazy flavors from a lot of Scotch.
Yeah. I find a lot of the times the notes will come like in succession in a Japanese whiskey instead of kind of bundled together. So you'll get, you know, cinnamon, then sugar, then citrus, then whatever, instead of like, oh, I'm getting a collection of, with like it hits your palate sort of in a weird order for me a lot of the times. Yeah, maybe that's just me. Sure. Maybe I'm a crazy person. I don't know.
No, I get what you're saying though, because I think that was one of the hardest things for me when I first started drinking Scotch. Was even relatively simple Scotches. They tend to be so bold in flavor. I mean, single malt. I guess I'm talking about single malt, not necessarily blends, but right. Blends too. But they do tend to be so bold in flavor. You get a lot of flavors at once. And I think that's really the thing. You got to learn to sniff them out, right? I mean, there's really all you can do is learn to do that with practice. You just do it over and over until you start to notice things.
For sure.
But I think Japanese whiskey, they do have a lot of the same flavors, but it's not quite as hard to discern things.
Yeah.
At least in my experience. At least in my experience. Yeah, I think it's a different kind of different kind of expression.
Nicholas Bird in the chat. You are crazy, but we love you anyway. Well, thanks. I think I'll take it. That's fine.
He's the good kind of crazy. He's our kind of crazy.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Speaking of the chat, what's everyone in the chat drinking? We're drinking Japanese stuff apparently currently, but what's everyone else got? We got Mark Goins in the chat. Glen Scotia 15. That's tasty.
Oban.
Jason Unsworth with the Oban 18. Nice.
You know, the first time I had Toki, I really didn't like it. And then I don't know what it was, but the second time I was like, wow, this is fantastic.
John Quinzel, Naked Grouse. My condolences, sir. Jeffrey Patron is drinking seltzer. Okay, sure.
Because he is the hardest core.
That's true. He is.
That sounds about right. I feel like I'm kind of off center. I can't actually see myself on the stream, so I'm gonna.
That's perfect. I mean, we'd rather look at the whiskey anyway. It's fine.
Right. No one cares about me. No one cares about me. Half the chat is wondering who's this ugly motherfucker sitting on the left side of the screen.
It's fine.
Am I allowed to swear on here? We try not to swear on our channel.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we've ever actually had a discussion about it, but like sometimes we do, so I guess so. Not really worried about it.
With me on it, Jeremy. I'm the ugly left.
The ugly left.
I'm on is always the
ugly left. That's harsh. Sheesh.
I know. I'm looking very preppy today.
You are. I'm wearing my adult costume currently, so you can tell. You unfortunately can't see my video, but the chat will be able to see my adult costume.
I look like somebody, like a Southern Baptist preacher.
John Quinzel, internet left. Yes, exactly. It's like a play, but digital.
Jeffrey Patron says to fire me. That sounds about right.
Okay. I can't do that because no one wants to watch the Brad show. I know that for a fact.
I don't know if that's true though.
Well, okay, people don't know what they want, or they want things that aren't the best for them often. And so they will ask for things that they don't really want.
Yeah. I suppose that's
like
true.
the monkey paw situation, you know?
Right. Oh yeah.
You got to be careful what you wish for, kind of thing.
Yeah. I suppose so. I think it would be interesting though, just to get a hour long Brad monologue Let's just see how weird this gets.
All right. Well, fair enough. It was good having you on, Ed. See you later, I guess. No, please don't leave me. Oh my God, don't leave me here with the chat. Oh, save me. Save me, Ed.
Yeah. Well.
So yeah, so streaming. What made you guys kind of start shifting towards the streaming direction?
Two things. Two things actually. One was that we usually shoot on Sundays, right? So we'll shoot 3 or 4 videos on a Sunday. You know, because I go over to my old man's house, and I'm in Wauwatosa. He's in Shorewood, which is all on the other side of Milwaukee.
Okay.
So every Sunday night, I'd be driving back. I'd have to drive back and edit the video for Monday. So I was staying up, super late, and that was a pain in the butt. Sure. So we were just like, why don't we just, instead of spending, that hour doing that, let's just go and talk to people and hang out. Which I thought made sense. Also, because it's the fashionable thing to do, and we're jumping on the bandwagon.
Sure. I get it. You're copycats. That's fine. You can say it.
So. Oh yeah.
And we're copycats of other people that were doing it before us. That's that's what the internet is built on, is copycats.
Oh yeah. I mean, in all fairness, we're all just copying Ralphie, aren't we?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but the streaming for our channel, like, I think here's the problem with our channel. If there's a problem, this is it. Is that we named it the Rotgut Review when we were planning on doing nothing but really awful whiskeys. Like every episode was going to be a worst whiskey watch.
Right.
Right. And then we realized very quickly we did not want to do that. That was such a pain. And so we're like, with the streaming, we're trying to like make it so like people realize, hey, we are into whiskey. We do like whiskey. Like, we have whiskeys we like. We have reviews we want to do about good stuff. Because right now, I think the most, like, obviously it's it's our gimmick. The bad whiskey reviews are our gimmick, and that's cool. But we also do want to have a little bit of serious time.
I mean, you could always like spin it off. Keep Rotgut Review for the horrible stuff and spin off a new channel for decent stuff.
We could do that.
Start the Rotgut media empire.
We don't have enough subscribers for one channel right now, Brad. I don't think
it hasn't been stopping us.
Oh, I suppose that's true. I don't know. We're having fun with it. I think this whole thing is just a chance for us to act like idiots, and do weird videos anyway. So
yeah, that sounds like a good plan.
Someone's John saying Ed can't stick to a simple plan of crap. Yes, that's exactly it, man.
Well, anyone that drinks Canadian Mist, what was it, 5 weeks in a row or something stupid for your Wednesday thing when you had Canadian Mist on? Like, I'm sure you lost enough brain cells. Your plan went completely out the window.
Yeah, no, that was that was a thing we did.
It lasted quite a while.
Yeah, that was a month and a half of Canadian Mist. Because, okay, for people who don't know, what we do on the Rotgut Review is we'll have like a Monday episode and a Friday. Well, we used to have a Monday and a Friday episode where there's serious whiskeys, actual reviews, right? And our Wednesday episode, we're trying to find the worst whiskey in the world. So every week we have a whiskey come in and faces off against last week's worst whiskey. Right. And then the worst whiskey from that pairing moves on. Canadian Mist beat just about everything. Because it was from October till middle of November. We just had to keep drinking Canadian Mist. I think the only thing that finally beat it was Hague Club.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Which makes which makes sense. Thank you to Whiskey Mariachi for turning us on to that.
Yes, thanks. Thank you. Yeah, no, the Canadian Mist. I have to apologize again for introducing Canadian Mist into your life. I didn't mean for it to hurt you so badly.
It's kind of become, it's almost like a cultural touchstone, though, in a way.
So weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, you know people from the tribe by, or whatever, from just from the amount of Canadian Mist they've been exposed to.
So much Mist.
And we need like a Geiger counter, but for Canadian Mist.
Oh,
like, you can tell how much
you've been exposed to far too much Canadian Mist. Here, have some JP Weiser's 35 to inoculate yourself. Oh boy.
Also, hey, I noticed you guys have a new logo.
We do, yes. We recently stopped being lazy and actually got someone who knew what they were doing to make us a logo.
Oh, very nice.
Instead of me like hiring some random Fiverr person to slap one together in 20 minutes because iTunes and YouTube and whatever else like needed a logo while I was putting channels up. That's literally literally what it was. Like,
the old one
I
looked
need an
pretty
image.
Good. Better than our old one. Our old one was a piece of crap.
It was fine, but I mean, the new one is a heck of a lot better.
Gretchen's asking, what worst whiskeys would you shag, marry, and kill? Good question. So, okay, if I had to choose from what we've been doing lately, okay, I'm gonna go with the worst of the worst, because it's no fair if I choose like the ones that were okay.
Sure.
That's not any fun. I definitely, no doubt about it, I would kill Central Standard Scotch style whiskey. That's right out there. That should have been put down before they released it, in all fairness. If I had to, of the really bad ones, so what would it be? What were our really bad ones? Oh, so I would say the three bad ones: Central Standard, Wyoming whiskey, Black Velvet Canadian.
Yeah, I've had Black Velvet. Yeah, that's rough.
Black Velvet definitely would be my Mary, because it's the least likely to just rot your insides, I guess.
Fair.
So, that's a benefit. Like, that's a positive thing. And yeah, and then Central Standard kill, and I guess I have to shag Wyoming small bat or private stock. Yeah. Yeah.
Yikes. Oh yeah, that weird like single barrel whatever nonsense that you got.
It's very funny to me because like we had quite a few people from Wyoming get very mad at us on that video, because they're not from Wyoming the company, Wyoming the state, and because they're mad because Wyoming is actually decent whiskey, and we keep explaining every time we mention that whiskey.
Sure,
this is like a single barrel from their very first year that went very, very bad, right? But we still get people, because some like a radio DJ or somebody shared it on some radio station's website. They shared our review and said, self-proclaimed worst whiskey experts rate Wyoming worst whiskey in the world. And we got just a flood of Wyomingians, Wyomites, people from Wyoming. We just got a flood of people from Wyoming just coming in and giving us shit.
Yikes. Yeah, I mean, I've had some Wyoming whiskey, and like, it was fine as far as I remember. I was very surprised when I saw your first one when it showed up originally, and you just really didn't like it. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, no, and that's what I tell people. The actual small batch Wyoming bourbon is a great whiskey. Yeah. It's a perfectly good bourbon. The one we had I gave it to some people, and they said it tastes like if Jim Beam made turpentine.
Jeez, yikes!
Like one day we were at Patty's where we shoot some of our episodes, and we just passed it along the bar. We just gave it to a bunch of people at the bar, and each of them just sniffed it. And there was, you know how people do the wave at soccer games,
sure,
or whatever. It was kind of like that, except just recoiling, just.
All right. That sounds rough.
Yeah. Yeah. But. Oh, yeah. Actually, Wyoming just was part of the Alliance series, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I can't actually pick any bottles up because I'm not down in Austin, unfortunately. Which is really too bad that they can't ship that stuff.
Yeah, hopefully at some point they'll figure out some distribution, and then maybe, you know, you'll get some, but they'll be in so few numbers that it'll be a little bit of a lotto whether you can snag one before they all disappear as soon as they hit a distributor, I'm sure, because they're not going to start out with very many bottles of anything.
Right. Yeah. Oh, and Nicholas Bird, they can hold up to 2 years. Yeah, that is nice. I mean, yeah, I mean that's awesome.
Yeah, I've been waiting a few months to pick up my last couple of bottles that I've got waiting for me there, but I'll be there next week finally, so I can pick some stuff up. Of course, you can only pick up a couple of bottles, but.
Oh, sorry. Is this your level?
My level 3, yeah.
Oh.
Assuming like I pass, I guess. I mean, who knows? But yeah, theoretically, it'll be level 3 by the end of next week.
Oh, that's exciting. You're going to get the proper gold chain, right?
I have the chain. I get a little star, the little red star that kind of connects the chain to the big Flava Flav medallion.
Yeah.
It's good times.
See, I'm just wondering if I can buy one of the medallions. I don't even need to take the class. It's the big gold medallion.
I don't know. The class is pretty fun, I gotta say.
Oh,
it's super interesting.
Oh, I have no doubt. And I love that. Their campus is so nice.
It is. It's crazy, but it is very nice. It is extremely whimsical.
Yeah.
Don Quixote art everywhere and crazy castle-looking buildings and stuff. It's a good time.
Yeah.
And I need a refill. So I think because Vito is in Japan, I've been drinking Japanese. I had some Nika from the barrel, and I know he was having trouble at a bar the other day getting them to pour the Hibiki 17 that they had, but they wouldn't pour for him for some reason. So just in honor of that, I'm going to have a little bit of Hibiki 17 for it.
Nice.
Because that story was hilarious.
Jeremy Sims said you can make one on a pasta cardboard. That is a great idea.
It's true.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
That is actually a really great idea. I just had a really dumb idea, but I just start shipping out Rotgut review medallions. Like they're really poorly made.
Absolutely. You know, like that would be perfect.
A shoelace. Just a shoelace and the top of a cereal box cut in a circle.
Absolutely. You number them. You could charge a few bucks for that. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Get on it.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
You have to finish off a 5th of Canadian Mist, and then you can have a Rotgut medallion.
You know, I've probably had that much mist already. Oh, that's so. Oh, I don't think about it. So much mist.
The spin on the challenge code would be the challenge dinner plate. I like that. I like that.
Just paper plates with like some scribbles on it, you know.
Oh my God, yeah. If for some crazy reason I ever have a Patreon, I'm gonna disappoint so many people.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I found a leaf. That's your Patreon reward for this month. Have fun.
Sweet. I would definitely be signing up for that. Just so you know, right. You'd have at least one patron.
Oh, geez.
Oh, that is so tasty.
What else is going on by you, Brad?
What else is going on by me? Well, I'll be in Austin next week for the Whiskey Somm 3 course. After that, A couple weeks after that, there's a big whiskey event in Toronto that I'm going to.
Ooh.
Spirit of Toronto, I think it's called. So that'll be fun.
Nice.
But outside of that, not a whole lot. I've been trying to actually like consistently make review videos, even though my audio equipment is horrendous and I have to buy a new mic or something because it's been a giant pain in the ass to like get rid of all the background noise in this room.
Oh man, yeah.
But
what's causing all the background noise? Do you know?
It's there. I mean, the furnace is next door for one, so when that's kicking in, it's kind of loud sometimes. But there's just a lot of ambient noise, just in the house in general.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, when I was recording, the fire alarm went off because my wife was cooking something, and it just one of the smoke detectors went off for a minute. So that was fun to try to get out of the video. I did it, but I mean, it was a pain in the ass.
That is the problem with living with actual people.
Yeah,
trying to film these things.
See, when I was a hermit, I didn't have any of these problems.
I know, right? Oh, that's actually a great name for a channel. If anyone needs to start a YouTube channel, Whiskey Hermit. That would be a fantastic.
It would be, and we've got the trademark on it, but you can pay us to let you use that name if you want.
Yeah, patent pending. I said it, so it's legal.
Never give it up for free. Come on, man. You got to unleash the inner marketer. Right. Everything is for sale.
Oh, speaking of marketing, okay. Do you remember, when was it? Like a month ago or something? Macallan released that weird video where the guy jumps off the cliff and he grows wings. It's a whole Greek myth kind of thing. You remember that marketing campaign?
Sounds familiar, yeah.
If people remember that, I'm in the chat. Remember, it was who's the Greek guy who flew too close to the sun? I'm trying to remember. Help me out here.
The chat will remember. For some reason, I'm not. Icarus. There we go.
Icarus. Thank you. Yeah. So Macallan had a marketing campaign based around like Icarus, and it was like how far would you fall for the chance to fly, or some crazy stuff like that. And I was just reading. Apparently, the UK advertising, whatever regulatory body like gets to decide on that sort of thing.
Sure.
Just banned it. Like they banned the commercial.
Wow.
Because they said it was they were scared it would encourage reckless behavior while using alcohol.
Okay. That's interesting.
I think most people were like, this is kind of a dumb ad anyway, so who gives a crap about it?
Right, yeah.
Because it didn't actually tell you anything about Macallan. But I just find it funny because like if you drink, like, how much whiskey do you have to drink to believe if you jump off a cliff you're going to grow wings? Like, whatever.
Probably
if they're selling some
a lot.
Sort of Macallan that makes me think that, I'm buying it. Like, I'm all over that.
Be the best Macallan I'd had, probably. Did that. That's crazy.
Well, I don't know.
Macallan is good at the marketing themselves without talking all that much about the whiskey. So it doesn't surprise me that much that
it's true.
They would.
That's the thing. Like,
they're very good. I mean, that's not a dish on them. Like, they're very, very good at it.
Yeah.
It's just that is sort of their theme, is talk as little about the actual whiskey as possible, because it's not really about that. It's about the image of Macallan. It
really is. It's true. I mean, I like Macallan. I've actually got a couple right over here. And it's good whiskey. I think it's one of my favorite whiskeys, but like at the same time, more and more so for them, it's absolutely not about the whiskey. No. It's really not about what's going in the bottle.
No. I mean, sometimes they do like special editions and stuff. I'm sure, It's not always pure marketing, but a lot of times it kind of is.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I think of course, they make good stuff. It's just that the marketing side, the collecting side of things has gotten profitable enough. Like they can sell, they can sell something completely ridiculous and gain just a bunch of publicity.
Sure.
And they're set. Like it really doesn't matter because somebody will buy something that expensive just because it is expensive.
Yep. Yeah. Donald Rance in the chat is asking if Macallan is the most overhyped and overpriced whiskey in the market today. And that's probably up there.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say so.
I mean, that's subjective, but it definitely it hits that button for me for sure. I haven't really had a Macallan that I've absolutely loved. I've had Macallans that were good, but I haven't had a Macallan that I would say is worth the price that they were asking for it.
Yeah.
To me.
See, here's this one is actually edition 3. This one I love. This one is fantastic. I will drink this all damn day.
Sure.
But I think that's the thing. Like I think that ran me just over 80, something like that. Like once you get into like the rare cask kind of thing, like rare cask, any of the really like if you're looking to buy edition 1 and you're gonna shell out $1,000 for it, no, that's it's pretty pointless at that point.
It gets pretty crazy pretty quick.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Like the Pappy craze and all that is. That's a lot of hype. There's a ton of hype around a lot of different bourbons right now.
Sure.
But I think they still pale in comparison to the hype around the exclusive scotches.
Oh, yeah.
Because I think it was Macallan. They released their Genesis and they caused such a large traffic jam that it shut down a Scottish highway.
Yeah, I read about that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Like, that's... like it's kind of fantastic in a way, like it's hilarious, but it's also like you guys got to calm down just a little bit.
Yeah, like if we could just dial it back just a touch.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, they're getting people to spend the money. Can't really blame them.
Right, that's true.
As far as the business goes,
something I was talking about with a couple of guys from the tribe is that. There is such a thing as you can have a whiskey that is crazy overhyped, but is still excellent.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like it can be a really great whiskey and it can still be overhyped.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't work if it was actually really horrible whiskey. Like it has to at least be good whiskey for a certain section of the population for them to be able to build that level of hype. Because if it's just really horrible, no one's going to buy it anyway.
Oh yeah. Mr. Patron was saying Macallan Iron Brew finish. I'd drink it. I would definitely drink that.
I would try it. It might even be an improvement. You never know. Sometimes you mix weird things together and it becomes amazing.
Still in Canada is saying he's got to crash. Have a good night. Thank you for tuning in. Still in Canada. Man. Yeah.
Yeah, whiskey can be good, but not worth the price of admission.
Is amazing, not worth what they ask for it. That's true. Yeah.
That's probably true for most of the Pappy stuff.
Yeah.
And a lot of the bourbons that end up, on limited release, lotto things and stuff like that. It's all the hype machine. Most of it isn't really worth. I mean, a lot of them are good.
Oh yeah.
But not worth. Like if you can get them at regular MSRP style pricing, then they're great. If you're paying secondary prices of 14 times what it would be if it was sitting on a shelf, maybe not so much.
Yeah. And I mean, but if people want to pay those prices, I always say more power to them. Like if that's really what you really want to get some Pappy, hey,
I mean,
go for it.
all of that said, I definitely have bought whiskey at auction for way more than I probably should have. And, you know, sometimes you just got to do what you got to do.
Yeah. No, I don't blame you. Actually, I was curious because we were talking about this. Are you able to tell us a little bit about all the stuff you just bought? Because I know you were saying you just dropped a whole bunch of money.
Yes.
Can you tease that a little?
Sure. So I bought a few Canadian things. I sort of have a building habit of every time I go to Austin, I bring them some non-shitty Canadian whiskey because they don't have enough down there, and they just can't get, you know, the really decent Canadian whiskeys down there very often. So I tend to bring a few bottles every time I go. So I've got 4 or 5 bottles that I'm going to bring down, and I may have bought something at an auction that might be showing up there that, you know, I probably shouldn't mention on air because people will yell at me. Ooh. But you'll find out next week probably because I'll have to post something about it.
I'm excited.
But
I'm looking
yeah,
to do it.
It'll be good. I'll try to get you some samples when I'm down there and the Canadian border isn't a shipping issue. You know, I can get some samples together very quickly and get them out your way.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah, getting things over the Canadian border is kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, at least legally speaking. I mean, people do it all the time, I'm sure, but legally speaking, it's difficult.
There's a saying around here, I know, that if you haven't smuggled something across the Canadian border, you haven't been to Canada.
Yeah. It's a pain.
Yeah.
And I'm also just going to have to risk whatever they're going to charge me in taxes at the border when I come back from Austin this time, because I have a few bottles waiting for me there that I need to bring back.
Yeah, for sure.
The collection of whiskey that I own that isn't at my house is growing faster than what I'm bringing home, so it's becoming a problem.
You have so many bottles in different cities at this point.
Yes, I've got a couple in Vegas now. I've got a bunch in Austin. Got one in New Jersey. All over the place.
You're an international man.
Sure, let's go with that.
That's what it is.
Let's go with international whiskey enthusiast as opposed to financially unstable weirdo.
A true Renaissance man, a man of distinguished taste.
Absolutely.
Yeah. No, but speaking of Canadian whiskey, we really do need some good Canadian whiskey down here. Although I did just see, how do you say it? Is it Gooderham? Gooderham and Worts?
Yeah, Gooderham or however. Yeah.
I did see that's actually getting distributed in America now.
Oh, nice. Yes, a lot of their stuff is pretty good.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of them.
Neat. It is unfortunate the quality of Canadian whiskey. Even here in Wisconsin, you think it wouldn't be too hard to get some just across Lake Superior. But
yeah, it's so depressing. I mean, I swear there's good Canadian whiskey. A lot of it is shitty, but there is good Canadian whiskey too.
I know. We'll have to take your word for it for now.
Yeah. Well, we'll sort you out. We'll get some samples to you.
Fishing trips out on Lake Superior.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. I cannot confirm nor deny such things on such a public forum as this live broadcast. My lawyer is telling me to shut up. I don't know what's going on.
Do the old rum running thing.
Oh, jeez.
Got a boat with a false bottom just filled with barrels.
Oh yeah, that's definitely something I've been bidding to on the internet. Yep. Please don't come and get me. I swear it's a joke.
Right. Sniper saying the 11 Souls is great. All right.
It is. Cool. It is quite good. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have to keep an eye out for that. Sorry, I keep bowing to the camera. It's just I got the chat on my.
Okay. It's very polite. It's fine.
I know. I respect all of you so much.
Yeah, any of the Gooder Hemingwarts stuff is generally pretty good. Anything you can find by JP Weiser that isn't their like bottom shelf nonsense, they do some
Oh,
good stuff.
yeah, no.
Unfortunately, I think the only thing that gets distributed to the US is like the really bottom shelf stuff that they do that's just ridiculous.
Yeah, I've seen some good stuff in bars. I don't really see any of it in liquor stores though.
Yeah. Like any of their rare cask stuff is usually at least decent. They got a bunch of good
Yeah.
stuff. And they're a large enough company that you might see it occasionally. All the really good stuff is like super, micro that I can't even get here half the time. Like you got to go to Nova Scotia to grab it and stuff like that. So it's a pain in the ass.
Sure. Who was it? Who was it? Was it Nova Scotia that released they did the Battle of the Glen? Was that the one who took on the SWA and won?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, it's like it sounds too Scottish. You can't use Glen in the name. It's like it's Nova Scotia. It's New Scotland. Like half the cities sound Scottish because it's all Scottish people that founded them. Like, what do you want us to do?
Well, and that's the thing I was thinking about. Like the SWA was, you can't really copyright the word Glen. Like
no.
Glen is just like the Gaelic word for valley.
Yeah.
Are you going to go after the Irish for like inventing the Gaelic language? Like you can't stop speaking Gaelic, you fucks.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird. To even try to stop that, like such a bunch of weirdos.
Yeah. I mean, in all fairness, like I guess, see, I have this debate with my old man because he does very much he's kind of a purist in a way. Because we were just talking about people want to change the recipe for Irish pot still whiskey. They want to change like the definition in the EU law. And he's very much kind of a purist, and he wants things to kind of stay the same. Like they shouldn't vary too much. And I kind of get that attitude. Like the attitude of the SWA is like, yeah, we've got a good thing going.
Sure.
Don't muck it up. Right.
Fair.
And like, I think because you see like with American whiskey, the TTB has played a little fast and loose with things.
Sure.
And you end up with some weird regulatory loopholes and stuff that doesn't really, I don't know if I necessarily would call it whiskey, but whatever. So, but on the other hand, like I also know, like I get that it does kind of stifle innovation. People want new things. People want to see the category grow. You can't just stick with one thing, forever.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, my view on it is pretty much like, as long as they're clear about what it is on the bottle, like what they've done to it, or you have some way of finding out what the hell it is that they did to the whiskey that's in that bottle, then like, yeah, whatever. Do
right.
have at it, experiment, see what happens. Like that's how you get fun new things. Like you gotta be allowed to experiment and draw outside the lines a little bit if you're going to find anything that's truly interesting and unique.
Right. Yeah. Jeremy Sims is saying, like, if it's to improve the product, go for it. If it's to make it easier or to appeal to a new group, leave the class alone. I agree with that. Like, I agree. Like, you shouldn't, if it's just efficiency for efficiency's sake. I don't. Yeah, like it's a little silly just to be cutting corners. I think we're kind of past that as a whiskey culture. I think we've kind of gotten to a point where people are educated enough about whiskey that they want crafted, like craft spirits. It's a big thing. They want something that people have put some effort into.
Yeah.
You don't really want something that feels like it was rushed out by a corporation just to make a quick buck. On the other hand, like, I do think it's like, do we, you do want to create new flavor profiles because you do want to appeal to different groups of people.
Right. Oh, for sure.
You know, and I think that's the beautiful thing I think about Scotch in particular is that there's such a diversity of style. You know, Highland, Lowland, Islay, and it's not even necessarily broken up by geography. It's broken up by distilleries.
Right.
Each distillery can do its own thing and make a lot of different crazy stuff. And I'm kind of excited because that seems to be the direction Irish whiskey is going in now.
Yeah, there's a bunch of new Irish distilleries that are starting to pop up just suddenly that are doing interesting, more craft, small, you know, experimental things and stuff. It's getting interesting over there by the sounds of it.
I know. Actually, I know we're on Japanese whiskey. I'm gonna break out some Irish because you know me. I got the plastic patty in me. I gotta do some Irish at some point. But that's the thing. Like, I think Irish got so defined by what Irish distillers was doing because they were the only game in town.
Sure.
And to a certain extent, that helped it survive, but it also was to its detriment because, you know, people came to associate it with one style. You don't want just one style in a category. I think you want something that can appeal to a wider base.
Absolutely.
Just by virtue of difference.
Variety is the spice of life, so to speak. You got to have some variation in there.
Yeah. God, that Nika is so good.
It really is.
Nika from the barrel is just fantastic. I don't know. You know, it's pretty expensive around here. I think I paid like $20 over MSRP. But definitely totally worth it.
So what Irish are you going to go for?
I was thinking I was going to do Kilbeggan Rye because it combines two of my favorite things, Irish whiskey and rye whiskey. So
nice.
Yeah. This one actually, it ties into what I was talking about before. There's a movement right now amongst Irish distillers to try and get the definition of pot still changed so they can add more rye.
Okay.
The argument being that, like, back in the 1800s, they traditional Irish distillers who were making pot still were adding up to like 30% rye, and the reason that they made it only 5% rye or oats was that, you know, the big boys, Jameson, you know, and Bushmills, when they took over the market, they kind of leaned on the Irish government and were like, hey, you know, we make ours pretty much just all malted and unmalted barley. So maybe that's what the law should be.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, that's pretty traditional. They want.
Oh, did we crash?
I don't know. Maybe. Looks like it's still running to me, but it wouldn't surprise me if we
I'm
crash.
just going to refresh. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. This is a flawless
I guess it's just me.
Stream with no issues at all.
Does anybody know how much grain is in Nika from the barrel? I don't. Like grain whiskey, I assume you mean? Like how much grain, like grain to malt ratio? I really have no idea.
Yeah, no clue.
But all I know is it's incredibly flavorful. It's got none of that really kind of light minerally brittle is, I guess, the word for it, brittle graininess.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no, that kind of information requires research, and I'm not the third of cask strength that does any research. Everyone should know that by now.
See, I don't even know if they actually released that though. It's their process for making from the barrel is a little bit opaque.
Yeah, a lot of Japanese whiskey is like that. They don't really have to be very clear about it. Yeah.
Oh, so we did bug out for just a second.
Oh.
Sorry, guys.
I blame YouTube this time.
Yeah, it's definitely YouTube's fault. Definitely not on us.
Oh, never.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whiskey gives you patience. Sure. Sometimes.
Sometimes.
It gives you patience, and then it gives you excitability, then it gives you sleep.
Yeah.
Depending on how much you have.
and then you wake up from a fist fight wearing a nurse's costume.
Sure, that's fine. You must have had a great time. I mean,
oh man.
blame Vito Senpai. Sure, let's go with that.
I'm excited to hear about his travels.
Yeah, it'll be a fun little adventure. Hopefully, he's got some video to share. I imagine he's been recording things on and off. He has a habit of doing that, so it wouldn't be surprising if some kind of video came out.
Well, that's actually Erica. I'm quite cross with her about this. She's headed to Scotland later this year, and she's not taking me.
Are you going to give her a list of whiskeys to bring back?
That's pretty much it. Yeah. I'm gonna send her with a list, and I'm gonna ask her to take, because she's not just going to Scotland. She's going to Islay.
Without
so I'm
you.
like, first of all, you need to bring back whiskey. Second of all, you need to do some shooting while you're over there. You are part of the Rotgut review. We need some footage.
Right. Got to get some on location stuff for sure.
Yeah.
Erica is smart. John Quinzel in the chat.
She is. That's why I love her. She's fantastic. Hopefully she's in the other room. She can probably hear me. So, love you, Erica.
Hi, Erica.
I keep trying to get her to come on streams, but she's not having it.
Yeah.
She'll do the regular videos though. Oh, as Mac says hi.
Yeah, score those points. Dave McElroy. Good point scoring there. Yeah, so we're at almost an hour.
Wow.
We've done it. Success.
That seemed to go pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I hope the people in the chat enjoyed it, because I don't know. I know it was a little rambly. We really didn't have a plan.
Josh and Vito are fired. This is my show now. It's fine.
Yeah. I do, because I had. When did you text me about this? I think it was like Monday. You're just like, "Hey, can you come on the stream?" Like, and I was like, "Okay, yeah, let's do it."
Yep. Super organized and professional. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we are. I think that defines both our channels. We are incredibly professional and incredibly organized.
It's fair.
The most organized.
Yeah. No, I'm the least professional and least organized of the three people on this channel usually. So, it is what it is.
But Jeffrey Patron is saying the show needs more Patron.
Sure. Yeah, we could do that. I think we could make that happen.
Yeah. Jeremy's saying the 8th option worked out. Yeah, that sounds about right. I wouldn't do my first choice either.
So we've been trying to get guests for weeks. 2 days ago, I finally hit Ed. What can you do? No, it was great. It was great having you. You're doing streams now. Rotgut review. Anywhere else? You want to point people?
Yeah. So obviously, go subscribe to the Rotgut review, because do it. And then we're also on Facebook and Twitter at the Rotgut review. So that's easy. And so we're streaming on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Central. And we have a Wednesday Worst Whiskey Watch and a Friday review. So come and join us. We're weird and we're crazy, and hopefully we won't scare you away.
Awesome. Yeah, people in the chat are saying subbed. It's great.
Oh, great. Well, thank you. Yeah, Whiskey Ace. Thank you, Whiskey Ace. It's very nice of you.
Yeah, so it's very nice having you as per usual. Hopefully you'll come back,
Well, and point. The other thing is we're definitely going to have you come over on a Tuesday and hang out with us, Brad.
Sure, anytime.
So yeah, we'll we'll see when we can't do that. Hey,
sounds good.
Yeah. So, but thank you so much for having me on.
Of course. Good time. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully it was the right kind of chaos. I'm not going to say it wasn't chaotic, but hopefully it was the proper entertaining type of chaos. And see you in a couple of weeks. Cheers.
Cheers, and stay rotten.